Well, I think we all know what 100 degrees feels like, you know, to us. Now imagine being covered with fur and not being able to sweat. That's what pets go through. Veterinarian Matt Nelson is here with what to do when your dog is too hot. This happened to your dog in the spring.
It did. There was one warm day on a Sunday. It was 80, 85 degrees, and my dog was running with my wife, and he's ran lots before, but it was just hot enough to send him over the edge, and our thermometer quits reading at 110, and he was over 110 degrees. And luckily, things worked out. Our neighbor drove by, picked him up. I happened to be at the clinic, and so we treated him right away.
You said you almost lost him.
We did. It was 3-4 weeks of intensive care, and you know, for lack of better terms, when temperatures get that high, it's like an oven inside their body, so things just cook. And, you know, liver, kidneys, brain.
It just destroys. It can damage everything.
Yeah, and some of it can be irreversible. But
the normal temp for a dog is higher than our temperatures run. 101.5 is normal for them?
It is. 101.5, 102.5. Cats are more around 102.5. And they can get warm but still be okay. But anytime we get over about 105 degrees, that's when you can have some long-lasting problems.
So now we have some instructions on what to do. The first thing you should do when you know your pet is overheated.
Yeah, with this condition, treatment at home is pretty critical, and so you want to cool off the animal as fast as you can. So you might think to go get a pitcher of ice water to dump on your pet, but actually tap water works better.
So don't use ice.
Nope, no ice water. You want to just tap water.
Cool shade.
Shade, obviously, bring them into the air conditioning.
And a fan, maybe, or okay.
Yep. Lots of fans, and then you know, once you get that temperature down, you want to take them to the vet right away.
You had also instructions about cool, wet towels and where to put them on the animal.
Yeah, you can put the cool, wet towels on their neck, you know, in their what would be their armpits, in between their legs and the rear end, kind of anywhere where the hair is thin, so that the water can come into contact with the skin. And like you said, dogs can't sweat, so the wet towels, the water, that's the sweat. We're trying to sweat for them.
And Matt, how do you know when your dog or cat is in trouble? What are the warning signs?
Sure. Well, it's kind of a progression of signs, and unfortunately with our dog, it just went from normal to down and out, almost comatose, pretty quickly. But usually you'll see a progression of panting. They'll start foaming or drooling lots and lots. Their tongue might turn really bright red, and then it can turn purple. When it turns purple, you know, that's a serious issue. But then, you know, they get a little dizzy, a little weak, just like we can if we get overheated, and then they just collapse. And
have you had a lot of seen a lot of fatalities this summer?
Not a lot of fatalities. Our dog was probably the closest one. Luckily, he's back to normal. But I mean, this is the prime time of year when we, you know, most of our calls are.
I know, and when I see dogs out in the sun, and I don't know where the water is.
Right.
I mean, how do they make? I mean, some dogs do survive that.
Some dogs do get along pretty well. They adapt. They adapt better than people do. But still, it's a concern for dogs and cats. I mean, cats can get overheated just like dogs.
Okay, sure. We don't think of the cats as much because they're usually inside.
Mostly, right.
But you know, the inside of homes can get very warm this time of year.
I don't know how many times I see a friend on Facebook saying their air conditioning went out, and so then you think the pets are inside too, just along with the rest of the family, and so you start to get concerned in those situations.
Well, if you have any more questions about this, Matt is out in Geneseo.
Yep, we're on Facebook, and we're checking that every day. So
what's your Facebook?
Well, it's just Maple Ridge Vet Clinic.
Okay, Maple Ridge Vet Clinic. Thank you, Matt. Those were good tips. Good to keep in mind. And don't put them in the hot car.
No.
Even for a minute, right?
Yeah, that's another topic.
All right. Yes, we'll do that when we come back. Harry Potter got knocked out of the #1